Feature Friday.
The freshest.
So I came across this video where it's sort of like this discussion of autotuning K-pop. Now, I don't actually feel this is a actual autotune. Well, I had a look at some of the video, but I thought it would spark a good discussion, and it's something that we can't, because we've been on stage and we know kind of what this is about.
Especially TV.
Especially in TV, which is mostly what this is. We thought we could just sort of talk about this with some of you guys, and some of you also are very experienced, which is brilliant. So do feel free to add as much value as you wish to in the comments. But I think what the video alludes to, it's the soothing out and smoothing out of vocals.
It's the processing and mixing that we get on
Post-production.
That's right.
Now that's literally what production means. It tries to perfect imperfections. Not necessarily with Autotune. Autotune is simply a tool.
This is also not a diminishing anyone's talent either, because it's actually very difficult to achieve the things that we're seeing.
Some extent, it is unrealistic.
Exactly.
Like it just makes unrealistic.
It's like photoshopping a picture.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone knows now, like magazines do that, and everyone says, "Oh, let's give this a watch."
Yeah.
And then we'll keep adding stuff. But it is an interesting, really piece of content.
A lot of people were really shocked in my last video to find out big music shows that promote live singing actually use auto-tune and lip singing.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's continue to lift the veil of lies in the music industry.
Lift the veil of lies.
The audience to real singing and set an unrealistic expectation for singers. In many of these clips, the vocalist already sounds pretty good, but these shows tweak them to a perfection that is unattainable in real life. First, let's take a look.
Unattainable in real life under those circumstances. It's not that they can't sing like this. Like, for example, you look at someone like Taeyong, the way she sings live in an acoustic setting, maybe in a safe environment where she is what Waleska calls completely settled and grounded. She is a 10 out of 10 singer. But when you make her come down from the sky or come from the bottom up, that simple bit of movement, it is rough. Just the breathing patterns. And this is something that I have noticed that the Korean industry is the best industry at in terms of training, but it's impossible.
You're human.
It's virtually impossible
You're human.
to sound the way sometimes they sound
on
in some
TV.
of these TV shows, on some of their DVDs, when they used to do DVD stuff, you know.
That's right.
Before, I think it was a bit more shameless, like 15 years ago, 10 years ago, because I've seen stuff on like first generation K-pop and second generation K-pop. But now they're kind of leaning more towards realistic. However, a lot of these shows, like I think the one here, King of Mars Singer, I'm not very familiar with, but it has caught my attention that the voice there is like insanely well mixed.
That actually, if you watch some of our reactions to this show, that we've come across a few clips and in compilations and stuff, you will see how we are very emphatic on the
Mixing and post-production.
Yeah, the mixing and post-production, because it is like ridiculously clear and clean, and there's no rugged corners anywhere, right?
Perfect.
So it's perfect, and that type of perfection, it's post-production. It's makeup, you know, and that doesn't mean that they're not good in life.
And this is not just Korean industry, because
No,
obviously
this
Mars
is
Singer
TV.
is everywhere. It's just TV,
It's
mate.
TV.
It's really
It's the
bizarre.
standards they hold. It's different. They look for different things, and that's what they highlight.
Go on.
At singing competitions like King of Masked Singer.
Love the robotic voice.
Fixed TV release, okay? That's great.
So she came off there. Yeah, so there. Holy fuck.
Woo!
Okay, so.
She does
hold on.
reach it though.
No, I mean,
She
because
does
it's
reach it.
impossible to make someone reach something that they can't reach, especially there. But I want to see what they say again. Go on, press play. Sorry. All right, so yeah, it's just smoothing out imperfections. I mean, the first one she did come off, like the first bit she came off.
I also think it's important to highlight the fact that if you've ever sang with a mask on, you will understand the struggle. I think the physical challenges that we're seeing in this freaking show are already setting a really tough challenge, and then you give somebody a song like this, expecting perfection. I mean, you're human, bro. What do you expect?
No, but then also these are why perhaps this is perhaps
it's rather
why
impressive, the original footage, I would think.
My liking of music, it's kind of like, and perhaps yours the same, it's kind of that environment where everything is safe and it's acoustic and the equalization is for them, and also it's TV, right? So here, the reason also why there's some fixing going on, it's because it's a generalized environment. So then, in the moment, it's just one shot. Imagine you have all this crew of people that you're paying by the hour. You have all these these stars that also have to be other places as well. You have all this production going on, equipment, light bills, food bills, water bills. So you want to try and do this in as few takes as you can. Take it all in one shot, hopefully. And then after, you can worry about the editing.
That's right.
Right? And you can try and fix all this stuff and because it's all pre-recorded.
Good. Yeah, because sometimes you don't have a time to record, rerun the same section more than twice. Sometimes you don't have the time. TV scheduling is tough.
Horrible. I wouldn't imagine. I mean, at the level we did it, it wasn't obviously nowhere near this level, but that's KBS, right? Or it's like one of these big networks. Can't imagine what the fuck that building must look like, and their stress and schedules and speed of studios.
Go. There's no room for
so,
errors.
Go on.
So I actually think they're really nice on post-production.
I simmed twice so hard for me. This whole stage is pre-recorded.
Oh, that's another thing. Listen, that's another thing that people don't seem to understand. For TV, most of the stuff is pre-recorded.
Yeah, it's not live. That's what I was gonna mention. So it's very, very funny when you go to it virtually never happens.
No matter the level of talent, no matter the group, it's just TV.
I literally don't know if perhaps this has changed, and this is why I've barely spoken about this. But I have no idea if perhaps they do things differently. It could be likely.
Could be.
There's always that. However, I doubt it, but because also there's a huge focus in choreography and stage and stuff like that, and that's fine. I mean, what the hell? You're going to a TV show. Yeah. It's a show. It's not a live singing show. That's where you go to concert. You pay there. But
the concept is different, and I think it's okay. I think it's like when you buy a Vogue magazine. You buy it for Vogue, right? You don't buy it for, I want to see their selfies.
I want to see what they look like on a Sunday morning.
Exactly. You go to Instagram. You tune in for their live stuff.
And even there, right? Like there's the argument that even if you don't do anything to your pictures, no filters, no nothing, you still you pre-selected the best one out of the ones that you took.
That's right.
Right. So
that's right.
Even when it's in a pre-recorded studio, you're still choosing the best take out of everything. Mm-hmm. So, but just look it up on YouTube as well. There's a lot of idols speaking about this, which is normal, good. Because it's not like a dirty secret.
Great. I was gonna say it's actually so great that now this generation actually opens up about this, because it used to be such a taboo. Yeah. It used to be such a secret, like something people wouldn't talk about. 30% in the mic, it's not 100, and blah blah blah. And they're using Autotune or they're using post-production, and you're like, dude, it's a show. Like, this is how it goes. And
it's a show where things always go wrong.
Exactly, and is highly unlikely that things go around perfect. And it's so cool that nowadays you have videos like this. You have communities and idols and artists that openly talk about these things, because it also, as new upcoming artists are growing up with this knowledge,
they might feel dishonest, or
no, they actually now feel like, okay, I am able to achieve my goals because I don't sound perfect like in studio, because that's another thing that I feel like that could really push somebody like an upcoming performer's perception of themselves down. You will never sound like this because that's what I sound in studio. So when I'm live, there's this anxiety that I have to live up to the studio. And yes, you do. There is that pressure. But now everybody's open about how to help you, the tools that they're there to make you sound wonderful on live settings. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think as a performer, I think it's great. The other thing to highlight here is that what they're hearing in their in-ears, it's the process sound, is what you're getting on TV.
Do you think you're doing cool?
Exactly. So that's what they're getting through in their in-ears. So
and even then, they might do like even extra post-production.
Most definitely. But they're so to give them a guidance, they're definitely hearing some processed sounds in their in-ears.
There may be moments that you don't see over the video, obviously because of copyright and all that stuff. But go on. I mean, she was on tune.
She was pretty close.
Yeah. It's so rough, that show.
Freaking love this song.
That's Red Velvet.
Yeah. Everybody singing along. Okay, listen, that song is so hard. I heard it when the first time I heard it on studio, when we watched the music video, I was like, bro, to replicate that chorus is gonna be so tough because of the breathiness of the line.
Red Velvet, good singers though.
Very good singer. Very solid.
We've extensively looked at them live off of camera. They're good.
Very
Same
good.
as Mamamoo. Another one that surprised us was Twice. A very
freaking
good.
Solid.
Very reliable singers. Their only concern is obviously when you do have live performances
and they dancing
lots
like
of dancing,
crazy.
lots of moving. Even though their dancing is somewhat conservative due to the songs, it's too constant and it's too rough. Yep. It's like jogging. Try and jog and speak. See if you don't
try
get
to walk, march, and keep a pace and speak.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things to me are the people who complain is once Japanese songs sound like crap because of mixing. And while the production is cheap, the irony is it's the lack of autotune. The Japanese songs are closer to their real vocals while the Korean songs are edited the hell out of to sound perfect. The most annoying thing is when shows try to fix perfectly normal vocals. Solar at K-Con, for instance, did a fantastic job covering Speechless, and she clearly sang live. But the official video has the backtrack up so loud it ruins her voice and makes Solar look more handicapped when she carries the song on her own phone.
That's a funny way. She's such a beautiful vocalist, bro.